My name is Mr. Anderson, and this is Kickstarter Last Rites. Back them before they blast off. This is Kickstarter Last Rites, issue 17, What the DULCE. And remember, before we get into the list, supporting a Kickstarter only takes a single dollar. $1 shows. Support attracts attention, helps fund projects, supports creators, and creates brand new worlds. And also, if you're about to run a Kickstarter, know that you should check in or check out on Amazon Kickstarter for the Independent Creators, 2nd edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding made by the amazing Madeline Howley Rising and Christy Shin. And if anyone knows about Kickstarter, it's Madeline Howley Rising after all the amazing work she's done with Boston Metaphysical Society. So we're going to go ahead and tell you what different titles we're featuring on the show today. Here's our list. Today on Kickstarter Last Rites, we'll review Dead Duck and Zombie Chick, the radio show vinyl pressing. DULCE. I like What the DULCE, but it's DULCE. It's been what I've been saying the entire time, but not really. This is the New Guy comic book about Marcus, who begins his first day at the mysterious base. Why is that our main topic this week? You'll find out soon. The Resistance, Kestrel #1. Tits are back, and you can get 2 of them in your hands at one time. It sounds dirty, but TITS stands for Trans Interdimensional Taxi Cab Service. It's Fly Day the 13th. Pack your bags and tune in to see more. The Few and the Cursed, our favorite redhead, is in the hunt, but time is running out. We're going to find out more in just a few minutes. And finally, another 2 for 1, but this time it's not 2 issues of 1. It's 2 different issues in one Kickstarter. That's right. Paranormal Investigator is also teaming up now with Chase #1. So we're going to check all these amazing projects out. We're going to start off on our site, show off our site, hit the play button, and then we're going to go transport ourselves to the Kickstarter page.
Hi, this is Jay Fosgett, comic book creator, worked for Marvel Comics, Boom Studios, IDW, and SourcePoint Press, who published Dead Duck and Zombie Chick. The comic book came out a couple years ago. It was a big success, and most recently we created a radio series based on some of the stories that I created for the comic. We did 4 episodes and recorded it all in Toronto. It turned out awesome, and now we're doing a Kickstarter to release it on vinyl. That is record albums for you old fogies like me. So the majority of the albums will have my artwork on them, and then we'll be doing a limited amount, which will be blank, like the Beatles' White Album, that I will be drawing on as a reward. And we have some other artistic rewards as well, and it's going to be really awesome. So I encourage you guys to contribute to the Kickstarter, and hopefully we'll have more Dead Duck episodes in the future and more Dead Duck comics. Oh, one more thing. We're going to have a special wearable that will be part of the Kickstarter that will have digital comics on there and all the episodes. So you really want to get on board with that. I'd never even heard of it. I thought they were making it up. It's real. So help us out. Let's make it all happen. Thank you.
As you know, this is Kickstarter Last Rites, so that means that we take it one step further. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the actual Kickstarter by loading it right now. So let's do that. And we're going to hit Don't Be Crackers. Click here to back this Kickstarter. Okay, we just saw the video. Let's take a look at some of these incentives. Now they're talking about, of course, you got the combining the talents of the veteran voice actress and producer Allison Court, and of course Jay, who's just insanely talented. One of those guys you're always jealous of. You wish your talent was just as good as him, but it's a good jealousy. It's like a respectful jealousy. He's just such a creative guy, and this definitely looks awesome. This is new. I actually never saw the final product thing, or I just never paid attention. That's a good thing about Last Rites is I really get to dive in and take a look at the project like I hadn't looked at it necessarily yet. So that's what we're going to do today on this show. And the only thing I really wish is that they had spent a little more time on giving us like a clip of the show, because I've never heard the show. So I actually kind of wish, or even a link to where the show was. Now, for those who are wondering, the voice of Jubilee was Claire Redfield and many more. these are personalized thank yous, it looks like. So that'll be cool. And some carnies. So this looks like an awesome project. Here's the wearable that they were mentioning. You can get a t-shirt, the record. I'm an old guy. I listened to records growing up. I kind of miss it. You guys can see the humor here in the Dead Duck universe. So that's always cool. You can see what kind of humor you're going to get yourself into. And Zombie Girl's just, I don't know why, but it sounds like my type of thing, I guess. Like, I wouldn't call myself goth, but I definitely can see it. And you guys can see I'm getting the digital comic. Does not look like they'll need more from me, but I might change it to the print copy. See, now I'm running out of time, so I like, what do you really want? Like, how much? At the $50, I don't know. I don't know if I can get $50 for it, but I could definitely get the print copy for $6. It delivers anywhere in the world, free domestic shipping. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to up my pledge on the show right now, and here we go. Now to put in the password. Everyone's like, why do I have to watch this part of the show? This is why live is awesome, because you guys get stuck watching this. Okay, so I'm going to continue that. I'm going to confirm the change. And there we go. And now I'm going to share that I did it. I'm going to post it. I'm going to put, I needed the print edition. And you guys have seen that I've upped my ante. And let's see how upping the ante. I don't think it really needed my help. And that's even better when I do something and I just help the goal go, the reach get further. Oh yeah, 7395, 61 hours to go. So we've officially, well, not we, I'm not part of it, but we being the creative team behind it, SourcePoint Press, the amazing creators behind it, and of course the talent behind it. We got Jay, and you got the talented voice actor, Allison Court. I guess, is the combining the talents of the veteran voice and actress and producer Allison Court. And I guess Kat Inoke as Zombie Chick. I guess that she was based upon her. She's in there. So I guess she was the producer of it, Allison Court. So it looks amazing. I can't wait to get my comic. We're going to go ahead and just because it was a short video, I'm going to let it play again because this is the last time we're going to see it on the show. So it's only a 1-minute video.
Hi,
so
this is Jay Fosgett, comic book creator, worked for Marvel Comics, Boom Studios, IDW, and SourcePoint Press, who published Dead Duck and Zombie Chick. The comic book came out a couple years ago. It was a big success, and most recently we created a radio series based on some of the stories that I created for the comic. We did 4 episodes and recorded it all in Toronto. It turned out awesome, and now we're doing a Kickstarter to release it on vinyl. That is record albums for you old fogies like me. So the majority of the albums will have my artwork on them, and then we'll be doing a limited amount, which will be blank, like the Beatles' White Album, that I will be drawing on as a reward. And we have some other artistic rewards as well, and it's going to be really awesome. So I encourage you guys to contribute to the Kickstarter, and hopefully we'll have more Dead Duck episodes in the future and more Dead Duck comics. Oh, one more thing. We're going to have a special wearable that will be part of the Kickstarter that will have digital comics on there and all the episodes. So you really want to get on board with that. I'd never even heard of it. I thought they were making it up. It's real. So help us out. Let's make it all happen. Thank you.
I like that video. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever seen. I wish there was a clip to the radio show, as I said, but beyond that, I mean, that's pretty precise. You got the creator. He seems excited about it, and I don't doubt that for 1 second. So that's always good to see the excitement of a creator telling you how important the project is to them by showing it through their emotions and their face, and their own words, as it were. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our next amazing project, DULCE. So we're going to jump right in here and check it out.
What if it turned out that every supernatural conspiracy theory was true? Roswell happened, Area 51 is real, aliens are conducting experiments on Earth, Bigfoot exists, and strange things are occurring 2 miles below the surface of the Archuleta Mesa in Dulce, New Mexico, at the mysterious Dulce base. My name is Eric J. Cockrell. You may know me from my work on Blister and my Adhesive Man work in Defective Comics. I'm back with an incredible new comic called DULCE, by an incredible team. This book is created and written by myself and creator Gene Hoyle.
Hi guys, I'm Gene, writer of the amazing Gateway Runners and Labyrinth of Bones. This book promises to be even better than both of those, so check it out.
Line work by Greg Warrencheck.
Hi guys.
And colors by Avery Ferdinand.
Hi.
Bring this awesome tale of science fiction fantasy vibrantly to life. Rounding out our creative team are Mike Wagner on letters.
Hello everyone, I am Mike Wagner and I am the letterer for DULCE.
And Chuck Pinois is editor.
Hey! Oh, and it's Pinot. You know, like the wine?
Every penny of this Kickstarter effort goes towards the art team, continue on the series, and towards purchasing print copies of the book and promotion. Please take a look at what we have in store and pledge at dulcecomic.com.
Why am I stuck down here in this hole? Forced against my will to do all the stupid crap I'm told. To play with DNA, then travel through time and watch it unfold. All I want's to be hanging with my friends, not fulfilling a parading protocol. My co-workers and I trust soul, sometimes it gets scary. And my assistants are painting up a down here in DULCE. Accepting this as reality is for my own good, at least that's what they say. I guess being stuck down here is just my destiny. I don't give a flying heck about evolution anyway. I'm praying for the earthling revolution to come today. Set this whole thing world straight, let the living souls roam free. Screw doing a good job, I'd rather do a good deed. Cross my fingers and hope it all finds its way back to me, down here in DULCE.
Now, remember I told you there was a good reason that I picked this as the Kickstarter to really be the title and why it's been alone. And I haven't really mentioned this the whole time. It's sitting at $2,086. So here's the reason that I picked it. And this is true. The creative team behind it are some amazing people. They're not just amazing people, but they're selfless people. They help promote other campaigns, other creators, all in their own right, all in their different ways. Eric is one of the guys who I constantly see on social media, Eric J. Crocker. He is, I'll read his thing. Eric is first and foremost a storyteller. He's been publishing work since 2005 and has run 3 successful Kickstarters and launched 10 comics in the past 3 years. I met him at C2E2, just a wonderful guy, very down to earth, very amazing creator. But it's what he does on social media that always impresses me. He's a very honest person. He gives his opinion very respectfully, that we don't always agree. Me and him have actually had arguments, and friendly arguments like you're supposed to have. So I'm not sure you guys realize that he shares other people's work. He talks about other people's work. He tirelessly supports other creators. He's someone who knows the indie market. When I was having a conversation with him at C2E2, he's one of the few guys that I could drop names, not name drop, but just drop the names in a conversation, because name dropping is you're trying to get something for it. But instead, this was a little different. When I gave the names, he knew who they were, and that says something about who he is. It says that he pays attention to the world around him. And I think that's important to understand when you're looking at a project like this, to understand who you're backing. And I know Eric won't take a bow for what he does, because I don't think he thinks what he's doing is special, but I assure you, there are very few creators out there who will give you an honest answer in a respectful way, who are very genuine and very supportive. It's a weird mix. And that's not to knock any other creators. That's just to say how great Eric is. And somehow Eric has found a way to team himself up with Gene Howley, and I think I'm saying his last name wrong, but I've known Gene a few years now. He, for those who don't know, runs the Nerd Nation Radio, which has been supporting indie creators for longer than I have. A lot of people give me a lot of credit for the things that I have done. And in comparison to the amount of time Gene has put in, I haven't done anything. I just do it differently. I may have gotten a little more notice and traction for it, but I always say there were guys before me who do it and still do it better, and I still think that. I think Gene is an amazing guy. He's a very creative individual. He's someone who's, again, supportive of the indie culture. He's been helping people with other projects. So when you're backing a book like this, I want you to understand the humanity that's gone into this. And I wanted to take a minute and talk about the amazing creative team. And that's why we based the entire show around this one Kickstarter. And we're going to give it a little more time because these creators deserve our time and our look, and they deserve $1, at least $1. This is one of those Kickstarters that if you call yourself an indie comics fan, you owe them $1. And I'm serious because they have supported indie comics. Gene is one of the guys who guaranteed has helped indie comics get where it is today. A lot of people credit me for things, but before me, there was a Gene. And I want people to know that. And I want, like, he was one of the guys who's been grinding for a very long time and been helping for a very long time. And I've been around long enough to know. And I've known Gene longer than I've been an advocate for indie comics. So I'm not just talking out of the side of my mouth. I know it for a fact. Gene has done also Gateway Runners and the Labyrinth of Bones. And Eric said, "You're too kind." No, I'm just honest, Eric. I am honest. And by the way, Eric had made Blister Defective Comics and Adhesive Man. And I've known Eric too. Eric was one of the original supporters of Written Sins when we weren't known. Now I walk into places and I say, "Do you know Indie Advocates? Do you know Written Sins?" And people know it. There was a time no one knew anything about it. And Eric took us serious. And Gene took us serious. And I don't forget those things. And I don't think anyone else should forget the people who are kind to you on the way up. Because there are so few who will. I don't know Greg personally. But just judging by the fact that he's working with Eric and Gene, I can tell you that he is a great guy. I've seen his work with Bless the Children. I've heard of Hellcraft and Ravage. I haven't heard of Mosquito. I think that's Mosquito, unless I'm reading it wrong. I want to say Mosque, but I know my mind's just throwing me with the dyslexia. I think that's Mosquito Man. I haven't done that. Greg is started off in storyboards, but decided to focus on his first love, indie comics. He's a producer. He's produced art for countless series over the last decade, although most haven't been published. He hopes to become famous to get enough to get 1 or 2 pieces of outraged fan mail. Outraged fan mail is not fun. I get it all the time. And you have Avery Faradin, I believe. I hope I'm saying that. She's a talented graphic designer, illustrator, and colorist from the Philippines. She worked on Harlan Buck. Michael Wagoneer, I think I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry, Michael. He's a jack of all trades in the comic field. He has illustrated, written, colored, lettered, edited, and produced comics for many publishers. And his previous works include El Diablo, The Labyrinth of Bones, World Edge, just to name a few. And Chuck Pinoy, whatever you want to call him, he's okay with it. Trust me, he's fine. He's a good guy. And I don't mean that. I mean, like, he won't get mad at you if you mispronounce his name. He's not that type of dude. He's very laid back. He's a very passionate dude. And he doesn't see problems. He sees bumps, and he finds a way over those bumps. He's one of those guys that has got to be one of the most positive people that I've had the privilege to work with. And I'm very thrilled to call him a friend. If he's working on a project, I'm backing it. It's just that clear to me. Whether even if I don't like the content of it, I will get a digital PDF of that particular book. And I'm excited to see what he's working on with Welcome to the Void, which is hopefully kickstarting later this year. And I mean, he's a guy who's been editing. He's failed a Kickstarter, and it hasn't stopped him. And he's going to come back, and he's going to become back harder. And I'll be there to support him. He's always supported me, and not just me, but he does things for the indie community. He does things with the indie. I believe it's Indie Comic Conspiracy Group. Does amazing things. And this is the team of who you did. Now, let me just tell you, as an editor, how much trouble he has editing me. I've never hidden the fact that I have dyslexia. I don't talk a lot about beyond dyslexia because it gets weird. There are things like dyspraxia, dyspraghia and dysgraphia, but basically my mind can fill in blanks. I'll read a paragraph and you'll read a paragraph, and we'll read two different paragraphs because you'll notice the words that are missing and you'll get stopped by it. My mind will fill in the blanks. So add that with dyslexia, and it's not always fun to edit my work. And to his credit, he's never complained. He's always helped me out. And I've had to literally send him messages and be like, what are you talking about? The words there. And I had to tell him about this about me. And that's important to know. You have to be honest about your limitations if you do have them, especially if you have a disability. Just be honest about it. Hiding it will never work. And I let him know, and he was more than gracious and professional. And he never showed any frustration by anything. He always helped me, and he's just a great human being. So this is the creative team. And let's see press. Let's do something cool. Let's check out the press. The press they've gotten. So here's the full-length cover, and you guys can see some cool stuff. They got a 5, and I'm not surprised about that. I guess they've got reviews. You guys can hear I'm not quite over the cold yet, but I'm getting a lot better than it was last week. I'm very excited about this project. I personally can't wait to read it. And I need your help to make sure this project appears. And there it is. Nerd Nation Radio presents the Nerd Nation. Oh, there are a couple more. Eric's going to update the press. So there's a couple more press things that you guys are going to be able to see. And I don't have to read it to tell you that it's going to be an amazing project. The creators that are on this aren't going to ever not give you an amazing thing. They're the type of creators I know. If it's not nailing it, if it's not landing it, knowing Chuck's involved in it will make sure it lands a perfect, not a perfect book. Perfect is a high standard. It is going to be a commercial property. What I mean by that, it's going to have great art, great lettering. It's going to be something that you could see on a rack at a comic book store and not regret buying. It's just that simple. That is the type of product this is going to be, and I guarantee you it. I already like the art. I've read the story in here, and if you guys haven't read this preview, that could explain why you haven't backed it. Just reading this preview will get you to do it. And I know for a fact that in one of the Kickstarter talks we've done, I was told by someone from the creative team that Marcus is dealing with shit that's above his pay grade. So that's kind of interesting. It's about a worker who finds himself in this job that's sure got pretty sweet benefits. I'm sure it's got, a good feel to it. But, you're dealing with some crazy ass shit. I mean, as co-workers, just imagine you get a job, you're excited, you're getting the benefits, and all of a sudden you find out your co-workers are a fly in a lizard. And then you have to find out about all the shit that's going down on Earth that you had never had a clue about. And seeing what happens when things go wrong. And then you have to clean up the shit. You have to be part of the team that responds to it. Oh my God. This job doesn't pay enough. He's not even that old, and he's going to start saying by issue 3 or 4, I'm too old for this shit. So this is an amazing project. As always, because this is Kickstarter last rights, well, I like to spend a little more time on it. So I'm going to let you play the video again. And by let, I mean I'm going to press play and you're going to watch it.
What if it turned out that every supernatural conspiracy theory was true? Roswell happened, Area 51 is real, aliens are conducting experiments on Earth, Bigfoot exists, and strange things are occurring 2 miles below the surface of the Archuleta Mesa in Dulce, New Mexico, at the mysterious Dulce base. My name is Eric J. Cockrell. You may know me from my work on Blister and my Adhesive Man work in Defective Comics. I'm back with an incredible new comic called Dulce by an incredible team. This book is created and written by myself and creator Gene Hoyle.
Hi guys, I'm Gene, writer of the amazing Gateway Runners and Labyrinth of Bones. This book promises to be even better than both of those, so check it out.
The line work by Greg Warrencheck.
Hi guys.
And colors by Avery Ferdinand. Hi. Bring this awesome tale of science fiction fantasy vibrantly to life. Rounding out our creative team are Mike Wagner on letters.
Hello everyone, I am Mike Wagner, and I am the letterer for Dulce.
And Chuck Pinois is editor.
Hey! Oh, and it's Pinot. Like the wine?
Every penny of this Kickstarter effort goes towards the art team, continue on the series, and towards purchasing print copies of the book and promotion. Please take a look at what we have in store and pledge at dulcecomic.com.
Why am I stuck down here in this hole? Forced against my will, I did all the stupid crap I'm told. Play with DNA, then travel through time and watch it unfold. All I want's to be hanging with my friends, not fulfilling operating protocol. My co-workers and I trap souls, sometimes it gets scary. And my assistants are pain in the butt down here in DULCE. Accepting this as reality is for my own good, at least that's what they say. I guess being stuck down here is just my destiny. I don't give a flying heck about evolution anyway. I'm praying for the earthling revolution to come today. Set this whole thing world straight, let the living souls roam free. Screw doing a good job, I'd rather do a good deed. Cross my fingers and hope it all finds its way back to me down here in DULCE.
So I think that I've given you every reason to back this. So I am expectant, or expecting, I don't know, expectant, what works there, to see you guys back it. Now I'm getting the creator special. Very excited about that. The reason I like the creator special, it comes with a digital collection of Eric J. Cockrell's. But I have his stuff, but I don't have Gene's stuff. So that'll be cool. I get my new physical copy. I get Nerd Nation Presents too. I get a visitor's guide, which is a mini comic, and it's going to be in physical form. That's awesome. I'm going to get a postcard. I'm going to get the new guy PDF. I'm going to get the visitor guides PDF, and that's instant. I'm going to get it right away as soon as the Kickstarter ends. I'm going to get a DULCE wrap. And I'm going to get down in DULCE. I'm going to get music to rock out to at the gym. I'm excited. I can't wait for you guys to join me in becoming a fan of this amazing project. So let's get this funded today. Let's give it a tweet live on the show. Tweet, tweet, motherfucker. I know, kids might be watching. Can't say motherfucker. We're going to go ahead and we're going to share it on Facebook. And we're going to put, why the F haven't you backed this? Did you die? Sorry to hear it. Wait. If you're reading this, you're not dead. What the DULCE? I'll do the periods and the question marks. Back it now if you like to read comics. It's that simple. And it will auto-correct me. I guess it doesn't like haven't. There we go. And off to the land of Facebook, the home of the Russian bots. We're going to sadly have to move on to another title, but go back DULCE. Don't make me tell you again. I will turn this internet around. Speaking of an amazing project to back, let's check out Kestrel. I promise I don't have the volume on.
Hi, I'm KJ Kaminsky. I'm the co-creator, writer, publisher, and letterer of The Resistance and Hyperaction. I'm here today to tell you about our next exciting high-action science fiction comic book starring Kestrel of The Resistance.
Kestrel made her debut in the recent The Resistance, the broadcast offensive miniseries. We saw her aid Interval and the Resistance in their struggle to expose the secret criminal alien leadership of the Takio corporate state. In the Kestrel one-shot, we go back a few years to tell the story of Kestrel's first interaction with Interval and the Resistance. As an executive weapons designer, Erin Hawthorne finds her position affords her the ability to help those in need. See Erin take her first steps as the burgeoning hero Kestrel, while she discovers how best to fight for those that no one else will fight for. This 28-page, full-color comic book one-shot is written by KJ Kaminsky, with artwork by Jason Johnson and colors by Teo Gonzalez, featuring a special variant cover by Gus Vasquez.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter. With your help and support, we can continue to make comic books starring these high-action science fiction heroes.
Now, I got to meet Kyle at C2E2. I can tell you that he's a very passionate creator. And I think that if you want to be able to back someone, you want to back someone who's passionate. And this is a guy who's all in. This is what he does. He makes comic books, and he makes amazing comic books. I want to take a moment. I want to give you guys a real look at this amazing artwork and the story that goes into it and the details that are in the story. The first 6 issues of The Resistance and Hyperaction were self-funded with my self-publishing company, Big Blue Comics. Now, obviously, I'm reading this. Big Blue's not my business. I'm just reading. I really wanted to demonstrate that I put out a consistent, high-quality book, which I've seen them at the table. They certainly are. This high-action sci-fi comic book series star alien refugees, human outlaws, and bounty hunters battling oppressive corporate states and each other while trying to help the downtrodden. With art by established artist veterans Jason Johnson, Gen 13 and the Howling, Ben Herrera, Superboy and Star, Jason Howard, the Super Dinosaur and Trees, and others, we created professional quality books. Once again, I can attest they are that, with an independent edge, meaning that they didn't have to follow Marvel and DC kind of rules, which makes the story sometimes more interesting. And in this case, I do think that's true. We took those issues to 15 conventions in 2017, receiving a great response from fans and creators alike. So for our next issue, we're going to try something different, this Kickstarter. And I think that's cool. I think KJ is an amazing creator, and being able to spend time with him, I think that he does amazing work. One of the reasons I know he came to Kickstarter, and I thought it was interesting, because as we talked about it, we were talking about why he came to Kickstarter. And he said, you know, I wanted to broaden my ability to reach people. And I think that's important. Kickstarter does give you, and credit to Bob Sally. We had a debate sometime last year where I was talking about businesses and creators using Kickstarter for pre-orders almost seemed like it was a bad idea. And Bob Sally, you know, he hooked me up with a sage-like informational tidbit. He said, well, I'm trying to kickstart my way into other countries when I also do my pre-orders. I'm trying to reach something I can't reach from my local conventions or drive to it. I'm able to get fans from across the pond, across the world on Kickstarter. And I never looked at it that way. And the KJ's definitely been able to tap into a resource that we don't always get at the conventions. And I think that's important. I mean, Indie Advocates, we bring you a global feel, but it needs to get bigger. There's 7 days to go, more than enough time to get this funded. I've made $800 in 2 days. And I know you guys can do this. And I know you guys can actually get this funded by sharing it. I do think that we want to back creators who are putting themselves out there. And I know for a fact that I'm not going to tell the story because it's his story to tell. I'll just put it out there that he is all in with this. And that's scary. And we've all been there. And he's dedicated to the art of making indie comics. And I want you guys to be dedicated to creators like him and support creators like him. So I'm asking you, $1. $1 can certainly be worth getting this. And you guys can see I got the digital and more. $2 will get you a Big Blue Thanks. $10 gets you the one print, The Resistance. You can get the entire collection for just $20. That's 150 pages of digital comics. How can you go wrong with that? And I'll be honest with you. I went with the $6 edition here, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going I'm going to get the whole thing. I'm going to get, and it's hard because this is the digital and includes the PDFs and all that, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go deep into this because I believe in Kyle, and I got to spend time with Kyle, and I really do believe in Kyle. So because I believe in Kyle so much, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put my backing where my mouth is, and I'm going to change my pledge, and I'm going to kick myself later because Lord knows when I do these videos, later on I see my bank statements, and I'm like, well, how did I do that? But I mean, with Kyle, I don't think I'll have any regrets. I've upped my ante. I'm asking you guys this, and I'm telling you guys, forget asking. And I don't mean this to sound like at all any way of a dick thing, but I'm not asking. I'm telling you that this is an amazing project, and I'm telling you that if you're going to back projects, you know, DULCE and projects like the Resistant, Kestrel, this is the future of indie comics. This is where our power is. These are great creators, and you got to be behind it. And for those who know Josh Dahl supports this book. I'm going to put his name out there because I know he'd be happy to be associated with this. Josh Dahl was at the table with Kyle or C2E2. So amazing creator. You got to do your best to support amazing creators. And $1 is certainly in your pocket. At $2, because remember, you're going to give at least $1 to DULCE, and you're going to give another $1 to Kestrel. But I guarantee you, if you take the time to just look at this project, you read these previews, you give this book a chance, it's going to grow on you, and you're going to want to be part of the amazing creativeness that is indie comics. So please, get off the bench and become a producer of indie comics by backing amazing projects like this. And once again, I'm going to play the video on our way out.
Hi, I'm KJ Kaminsky. I'm the co-creator, writer, publisher, and letterer of The Resistance and Hyperaction. I'm here today to tell you about our next exciting high-action science fiction comic book starring Kestrel of The Resistance.
Kestrel made her debut in the recent The Resistance, the broadcast offensive miniseries. We saw her aid Interval and the Resistance in their struggle to expose the secret criminal alien leadership of the Takio corporate state. In the Kestrel one-shot, we go back a few years to tell the story of Kestrel's first interaction with Interval and the Resistance. As an executive weapons designer, Erin Hawthorne finds her position affords her the ability to help those in need. See Erin take her first steps as the burgeoning hero Kestrel, while she discovers how best to fight for those that no one else will fight for. This 28-page, full-color comic book one-shot is written by KJ Kaminsky, with artwork by Jason Johnson and colors by Teo Gonzalez, featuring a special variant cover by Gus Vasquez.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter. With your help and support, we can continue to make comic books starring these high-action science fiction heroes.
Now, of course, that looks amazing. I know I've sold you, so I know you're going to back this one. But speaking of amazing, let's move on to Trans-Interdimensional Taxi Cab Service 6 and 7. Let's check out what the boys of Tits are up to.
Welcome to another edition of Transmigrant Interdimensional Taxi Cab Service. I'm Colton, one of the creators, and this is the Kickstarter for issues 6 and 7. We have a lot of unique rewards this go-around, including a tier that allows 2 backers to be featured in the comic. You'll have speaking roles, and we'll use your likeness and your name. For newcomers, there's the first 5 issues as well as the new ones, and we have posters, wall scrolls, and metal prints, as well as other rewards. So check it out.
Now, for those of you who know, we've been covering this project for a very long time now, and I'm always excited to see it come back. Here we go. And they've more than gotten their goal, but as always, like we say on the show, just because you get your goal doesn't mean you can't use more. Shipping is a bitch. And the art in this is so amazing. You know, they play with sexuality. It's definitely got that 1980s buddy cop feel to it with amazing art. I've always said that this belongs on like Cartoon Network. This would be a perfect follow through, and I know what those are. Perfect follow through to like Rick and Morty. This I could see going right at it, and looks like things aren't going well at the office, and it looks like Icavus is getting a upgrade of sorts. Starla's not having a great day, it looks like, going against Icavus. And Stoner Scats looks like he's a little upset. Uh-oh. So this looks like an amazing project. I know you all want to be part of. You guys have done an amazing job with this. Tit sells itself. I don't have to do much with this. It's got a legion of amazing fans. But I will say that you guys got to get behind it. And you guys can see I backed it. And I'm very proud to have backed it. And I can't wait to get my copies. And I know that these guys, they deliver, man. It's like dominoes with them. As soon as the Kickstarter's over, you get it. And don't pay attention to that 7 alerts. I know that's bad. But they do an amazing job of getting it out there as soon as it's funded. So, I mean, you just take a look at this Kickstarter and it'll sell you because it's got that fan base. It's either going to speak to you or it's not. It's really one of those. We've gotten in trouble for referring to it as tits in the past. And, you know, the over-sexualized. And I don't think people realize the over-sexualization is on purpose. It's supposed to be kind of a gag almost, picking fun at how comics over-sexualize a character. And I think some people miss that joke because it is, in fact, a joke and not actually meant to disparage women in any shape or form. I don't believe the Sorrells to have anything like that in mind when they make these projects. I love the art and the coloring, though, in this. Just absolutely fantastic. But we do have to move on. We're running late in our time, so we're going to move on to Fly Day. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot with Fly Day. There's not really much I can talk about. There's no video, nothing like that, so I'm just going to read it. Fly Day the 13th. Pack your bags and wing your way over to Crystal Pond. Fishing, swimming, camping, decapitation, and mass slaughter. Don't you wish you were there? It's Fly Day the 13th. We're going to check out the Kickstarter real quick. Now, I know that they funded, but as always, we can help some more, and you guys can see the amazing art. Now, this is Swampline Productions, who brought us such amazing projects that we're going to see hopefully in just a minute. I love the art with that. And, of course, here you go. Here's some of the reward tiers. And Jason versus Freggy versus Jason. I wonder if that's on the menu to do. And they just did Nightmare on Egg Street. I like these crossovers. They also did Star Claws, so it's an amazing project. Like I said, I don't really have a video to show you guys. It's pretty straightforward Kickstarter. It's got an amazing preview. It's Swampline Productions. It really is one of those things where if you like to laugh and you're into the chickens taking over the roles of other things, and you never thought you'd look at a chicken's ass that way, did you? But now you are. Sick freaks. So was I, though. Don't feel bad. But anyway, kidding around aside, grab some chicken and sit down and order yourself a Fly Day the 13th book now on Kickstarter. But time is running out. You only have a few days left, so don't hesitate. And we're on to The Few and the Cursed, which, by the way, was funded in 7 hours. How insane is that? Now we're going to head on over to the Kickstarter platform and check out this amazing project, The Few and the Curse. Now, the one thing I want to say, and we're going to talk about this, is that there's been some controversy. I even talked about this at my panel over the weekend, how people are saying Kickstarter's dying. And I got to say, I don't think Kickstarter's dying, and I think this is a perfect example. $7,000 goal made in 7 hours, now made $25,000. And I think this proves Kickstarter is alive and well, this type of project. I think that it's changed the landscape. I think that it's different in how you have to approach promoting your book. I think there's a different way to do it, but fan base is very important. And credit to Philippe, who has made an amazing journey of just doing amazing things, building an amazing character, building a fan base. And this is one thing I want to talk about. 771 backers. That is someone who pounds the pavement, goes to different cons, always has a smile, always has a giant energy about him, going around talking about this project. So that's why, and that's something I want to stress to people. Kickstarter is not dead. It's our approach to Kickstarter that we have to change. And one of the things I want to stress is that you got to be on your videos. I see so many videos, and I'm not trying to call anyone out. I don't know why that just stopped scrolling. Okay. I'm not trying to call anyone out. I'm not trying to say anyone's doing anything wrong. But if you're not in your video, you're missing an opportunity. I'll put it that way. Because now you're not being passionate about your project. No one's going to be as passionate about your project as you. And if you're not passionate about your project, how dare you kickstart it? And when it comes to a Kickstarter like this, when you meet Philippe, you know right away he's a passionate guy about comic books. There's no doubt about it. The way he talks about other indie creators, the way he meets other people, the way he shakes your hand, everything about him is inviting, and so is his work. He makes sure to put out quality projects. You can tell this is a guy who definitely looks at it. Now, I mean, look at all these books. The Few and the Cursed had 540 backers. The second book had 686. The third book had 750. And then the Chronicles had 859 backers. And you could see every one of these is over. So he's not asking for a lot. And that's something important to think about, too. He didn't come out ever asking for $15,000. And I see Kickstarters that do that. Right out the gate, I need $15,000 to make this book. Wow. And, you know, in all fairness, you can justify $15,000 to make a comic book. I know that sounds insane, but it's really not. But it sounds like a lot to the average fan, especially when you're starting out, and people don't understand it, and you can't educate everyone about it. I've tried. You can educate a few, and even the few that you educate don't always necessarily believe it, or think that they all think we should work for Marvel and DC, the ones who won't believe it. So with that in mind, you gotta look at guys like Philippe, and you got to look up to him and see how he's doing it and understand the energy and the effort that he's putting in to get where he is. Don't be jealous. Just, you know, do things. And Kickstarter's not dying. Your ability to get noticed with your Kickstarter has changed, and find the way to change it to the way back. And I got my returning passengers, so I'm excited. I can't wait for the next book. And the reason I didn't get it in this case is because I do see him enough throughout the year that I want to buy the book from him this year. Because that's one thing I do suggest to people is get the PDF here. And if you know you're going to see him on your schedule during the year, buy the book from him when they're at a con and help support him when they're on the Comic-Con Iowa. We are running out of time, so I do have to push past and go on to our amazing last project. So I want to give some time to this one. This is PIS, Paranormal Investigator Showdown, and Chase. Let's take a look at what this is. Now, here's a comic book, and I know the guys behind it. I wish one of them were in the video because they're such passionate guys. We're going to go to the Kickstarter itself, and I'm going to show you how amazing this looks. And this is a place, and I rag on Evolutionine because Marcel Dupree's an amazing guy, and I think he's just like a prophet of comic books for indies because the way he's doing things and bringing awareness and these amazing characters. He's creating a universe that one day we'll look back on and it will be its own thing. And it'll be movies and cartoons. It's going to catch fire. But he doesn't put himself out there enough. And I know Guido Martinez is a great guy. He could have been behind this. Scott Foster is a very bold man. I don't know Wilson well enough to know if he would be good behind the camera, but I mean, seems passionate. Simone, I think it's Simon. No, Simone. I think I'm saying that wrong. I've seen him on social media. He looks like he could be that. And E.A. Rappaport could definitely. These are guys who need to be behind it to tell you how amazing this is, because this is an amazing project. And as you guys notice, I haven't backed the project yet because I've been saving it for the live video. So, oh boy, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? See, now I've got a lot of these books, so I just need to get the 2. So I'm gonna go with the test tube now. Do I want the books in my hand? 2 books for $20 with free shipping. Yeah, I can do that. I can get on that. And then we're going to go to other payment options so I don't kick off the thing. I'm going to pledge. And there we are. So now I'm going to share it on Facebook. Happy to have backed it. And I'm going to say, this is what you're missing out on today. And the reason I write things like that now is because I'm interacting with people. I'm not just sharing something. In 2016, we started to compile the idea that sharing was an amazing thing. In 2017, that all changed somehow. And when it changed, it was like a light switch. And that light switch completely changed the narrative of what it was to have the Kickstarter. So I want you to pay attention to the art in the video for a second. I want you to notice the line work. I want you to notice how amazing this looks. I mean, just looking at it, how can you say no to this? 2 books, $10 each, free shipping. That's the way to go if you're in the United States. Cute redhead. Who doesn't like a cute redhead? Badass art. And you got some killer rewards here too. You can get Delia Blast in this. That's every Evolutionine title. That's crazy. Crazy talk right there. We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 titles for $65. That's a good deal. That's definitely a good deal. Plus, you're supporting a creative enterprise, which is all about indie comics. We've got 11 days to talk about this. You guys see I put my money where my mouth is, and I got them closer to the goal. Will you join me in helping fund Paranormal Investigator Showdown? I certainly hope you do. Normally at this point in the program, we usually go back over all the things on Kickstarter. This week, I think we're not going to do it. I think we're just going to sign off. And that's not because I don't think it's necessarily important. I just don't think anyone watches the end of the video. because if you've gone through the video, you started with it, I don't think we need to repeat ourselves. So we're going to cut that out to keep the video a little shorter. I appreciate your time. And if you have a Kickstarter that you want us to advocate for, please take the time to do that. And remember, you can find all the Kickstarters that we do showcase and feature on our main menu right here under Kickstarter. And if you just want to know what's about to end, Kickstarter Last Rites is the place to go. Thank you for tuning in tonight. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I am the advocating voice for indie advocates. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I hope to hear many of you guys review the amazing books that we've seen and featured today on the show. We're signing off, but it only takes $1 to show support on Kickstarter, so spend a few dollars today and help bring new worlds to life.